All right, for our CSM10 research project, we decided to research disparities in park access for ethnic communities in Fresno County. Next slide. After reading multiple journal articles, we found that there's a correlation between park access and usage and a healthier lifestyle. The main problem we found is that although some people may have access to parks and open facilities, they're not using these because of safety concerns and other issues. What we're researching is disparities in park access for Caucasians versus ethnic minority communities in Fresno County specifically. The goal of this project is to determine if there's a practical and implementable solution to improve park usage, which again will have a strong correlation with a healthier lifestyle for those people. Next slide.
So basically, here's some background information for our what do you call it? Our presentation. Our four things were the how nice the park was, so park quality and like how many people used it. The gap was like we couldn't find that much because the cities were too big compared to all the other ones, and the major information came from those big cities, so we could not generalize that to everywhere else. Health was another one to see how healthy people were compared to like their socioeconomic status and how they use those parks. And then the fourth one is transportation of how people got from their homes to the parks. Next slide.
So the gap in existing literature, as discussed, is the fact that people aren't using parks, or the research people are doing on parks doesn't necessarily cover everyone. Also, the focus primarily is on park quality, which is amenities and facilities, and not necessarily the minority groups that are using the parks or who aren't using the parks. So we are looking into race and ethnicity of park users. The region we are focusing on is Fresno County, and that includes all these cities listed on the right in these graphs. And or the data set we are using is focusing on the percent of population within a half mile of park, beach, and open spaces and coastlines. And the reason we're including the title beach, open space, and coastline, even though it's not, those aren't within half a mile of Fresno County, is because that is how the people who created the data set generalized everything. The actual data set is quite large, so we haven't included it in this slideshow, but there are other graphs we will be discussing in future slides.
Our research question is there a significant difference in park, beach, open space, or coastline accessibility in Fresno County in 2010 for people of color? Our first hypothesis is there is no significant difference in public space usage between people of color neighborhoods and Caucasian neighborhoods because park accessibility would not be an influencing factor. And our second hypothesis is there is a significant difference in public space usage between people of color neighborhoods and Caucasian neighborhoods because park accessibility would be an influencing factor.
So our proposed research approach is to compare the estimate of percentages of residents within half a mile of park, beach, open space, or coastline area within Fresno County. The graph on the screen shows on the top, the bar graph, the differences in ethnicity, access, and percentages. And then the bottom one is park agency types. And park agency types is going to be the specific type of park, beach, open space, or coastline, as we discussed. On future slides, we also will be discussing more about our proposed research approach for CSM 15.
Now here is an overview of California counties. It's the percentage of people who live within a half mile of a park, beach, open space, or coastline in California. The overall percent in 2010 was 76.3%. On the right, you can see the differences in counties in 2010. The dark blue would be California, and as you can see the marker, that would be Fresno at the bottom. The left are just by percentages by ethnicity, Asian, African American, that kind of thing. And below that would be the percentage of available ranked by percentage of population with access. Next slide.
For our plans for CSM 15, we will be comparing estimate percentages for each ethnicity, and then we'll find more data for Fresno City and Clovis City to compare to current data sets, and we will find data sets about poverty rates in Fresno County and draw similarities between poverty and park accessibility data sets.
All right, so our conclusion. First part of conclusion is the guiding question. Many people have access to public facilities but don't use them. What can we do to solve space usage problems to improve the health of POC communities? And finally, the research focus. Is there a significant difference in public space usage and accessibility between POC neighborhoods and white neighborhoods? That's all. Thank you.
Here are our references for the presentation. This includes all the sources we read and used for images. This is our contact information. Feel free to email us if there's any questions, concerns, or if you have any other suggestions for our research process. And then this is the reference for the slideshow presentation that we used. Thank you.